So I used to think becoming rich is the product of relentless hard work. When I was fresh out of college, I grinded away in an AI startup. 12 to 16-hour days. I had no social life outside of the people I worked with. We were all drawn in by the promise of great wealth. We're talking tens of millions of dollars. We just have to put the hours in and wait for the IPO that's right around the corner. Fast forward to today, it's been 5 years since I burnt out and quit the startup. I had hopped on the corporate bandwagon, and by a random act of the universe, in the great year of 2020 when the whole world went sideways, a select few stock investments I owned quadrupled in value, and in the short span of 8 months, I made more money than the combined total income of the previous few years. And during those 8 months, I was quarantined at home and I felt like I was hardly working. Moral of the story, sometimes it pays more to work less. A core part of my minimalist financial strategy these days is to cut out the hard work that lead nowhere so I can focus on the secrets that make me wealthy. First, we have wealth creation. At a high level, creating wealth is actually very simple. You need to be the supply. I'm gonna repeat this a few times so it sinks in. In a world of high demand and low supply, you need to become the supply. Some tried and true paths to filling the supply gap are careers that make a stereotypical Asian parent salivate. The doctor, the lawyer, the engineer. But increasingly, people are drawn to becoming an entrepreneur or a creative. At first glance, finding something you're passionate about and making a career out of it is very appealing. You can just get right into doing what you do without putting yourself in debt and living through multiple generations of school. But this is not wealth creation, this is just dabbling in a hobby. The population of dabblers is very high. If you want to create wealth from your hobby, you have to become low supply, often by doing what other people aren't willing to do. Secret number 1, invest in training. The average cost of medical school is $60,497 per year. Whatever it is that you want to make a career out of, you're probably not spending over $60,000 a year to train for it, and that's fine. But it is a timely reminder that there is a physical cost associated with becoming low supply, and those who pay the dues are more likely to find success. Case in point, I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years now, and the most amount of money I've spent on training is like $29.99 for TubeBuddy. And TubeBuddy barely makes the cut for being educational. This is probably why my channel kinda sucks. But if you give this video a thumbs up, it will get better. A creative career of any kind is going to involve interdisciplinary skill sets. Without a school program to guide you along, you have to go out of your way to find your own education. Going back to my wannabe YouTube career, I should be taking classes on scriptwriting, cinematography, marketing. Just mindlessly producing one video after another helps me improve slowly. But honestly, life would be much easier if I just invested in some professional guidance. I did actually sign up just last week for an annual membership with Masterclass, not sponsored. I started going through these lessons taught by Malcolm Gladwell on writing nonfiction. Malcolm, he doesn't seem too fond of YouTubers.
When you write about yourself, you are engaging in a self-indulgent act. Now, who is this person who thinks that they're so interesting that I have to read what has gone on in your life?
But I'm persisting through his lessons because learning from someone who despises you is not something everyone is willing to do, and that makes me low supply. Secret number 2, make connections. The American motivational speaker Jim Rohn famously stated, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." If you can find yourself 5 wealth-loving creatives to be friends with, then all of you are golden. The amount of free knowledge you can exchange with each other through conversation is worth every bit as much as a 4-year degree. Ironically, the best place you can find 5 like-minded people is probably by enrolling in a 4-year degree program. With the proliferation of the internet, it is theoretically easier than ever to find like-minded people to socialize with. But based on my experience, the internet seems algorithmically skewed towards either famous people or trolls, or famous people who are trolls. I think you're better off connecting with people at a local meetup, especially if you have an extroverted side that knows how to carry conversation. Knowing people and learning through conversation is both a shortcut and an addendum to formal paid training. This is probably why wealthy people are always networking with each other. But I am an introvert and I hate people, so this is not my preferred cup of tea. Secret number 3, channel creativity. Putting in the effort to acquire knowledge helps you become a rare commodity, but there could still be a lot of you out there. To become an even more desirable form of supply, you have to channel creativity. Steve Jobs once said, "Creativity is just connecting things. The broader one's understanding of the human experience, the better design we will have." The more knowledge that you have, the more chances that you have of creating a unique combination of things that add value to the human experience. I want to repeat this in a different way. Creativity isn't just about mashing things together. You are only creative when the end result of your mashup enhances the human experience. If you can deliver on that, then you will have created original wealth, and people will pay you one way or another. Here's a concrete example of creativity. The popularization of minimalism is a creative act. The ideas behind minimalism aren't new. They share a great many similarities with ancient religions like Buddhism. But here in the predominantly Christian society, Buddhism doesn't fly. So the original influencers repackaged Buddhist ideas into minimalism and targeted the masses who have become overwhelmed by America's obsession with consumption. This repackaging is a creative act that enhanced people's lives, and that created wealth. Secret number 4. By the way, my name is Alan Z, Consumerist Monk. I'm currently working on a series of videos on financial minimalism, so make sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned. Wealth equals wealth created plus wealth preserved. Just like how it takes only one creative act to create wealth, it only takes one destructive act to deplete your wealth, like a bad spending habit or a bad investment. Fortunately, you don't have to be wealthy to learn how to preserve wealth. One of the ways to preserve wealth is to learn how to live frugally. I already made a whole video about this technique called value-based budgeting that's designed to reduce the pain associated with sticking to a budget. Aside from budgeting, frugality is a simple decision-making framework. Before you spend money on anything, you ask yourself, can I find a way to get the same result for less money? And sometimes you'll find that the result is kind of vain and you don't actually need it. And in that case, you spend no money. The Greek philosopher Plato once said, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." Money is just a means to an end. And what exactly does that end look like? A simple answer might be a bigger house, a flashier car, or a party on a yacht. But is that really what you want? Or is that something you saw in a Hollywood movie?